Surprise! New podcast, new title, but of course you have your same host. Hello, my name is Camie Wilkie. I'm so excited that you tuned in, that you clicked on this podcast episode to listen today. Thank you for lending me your time. I know that you could listen to so many other shows, so many other episodes, but you chose this one and I cannot thank you enough. This podcast used to be called the Zero to Full-Time Christian Entrepreneur. And if you have been listening for the last several months, then you know I took a little bit of a break. It was about a couple weeks. And the point of that is I needed to hone in and really get clear on who is this podcast for? What is the Lord asking me to do with this podcast? I spent a lot of time doing some market research calls with some of you who listen to the show. And I have some fun things, lots of exciting things, new things that are happening on the show. But you need to know that we're still talking about faith here. We're still talking about business, but God has fine-tuned the mission of this podcast even further, which I'm so excited to share with you about today in this episode. The new name of the podcast is Bibles, Babies, and Business. And my mission is to help Christian moms start an online coaching business so that they can make money online and have the time and financial freedom to stay home with their kids, to be really present for the season of motherhood that I hear goes by all too quickly. And with Mother's Day being just yesterday, and with me about to be a first-time mom through adoption, the timing of this kind of rebrand of the podcast and the first episode after the rebrand couldn't have come at a better time. So inside of today's episode, I have some fun, exciting announcements to tell you about the show. We have an exciting and free goodie for you. And lastly, a Mother's Day giveaway. Let's do it. Hey mama, welcome to Bibles, Babies, and Business. Are you ready to start an online biz, quit your 9-to-5, and stay home with your kids? Are you up late at night Googling online business ideas, how to market myself, and how to get my first paying client? Do you have lots of ideas but feel overwhelmed when trying to figure out which ones to focus on so you can move your business forward? Hey there, I'm Camie. I'm a Christian, a wife, and a soon-to-be mom. A few years ago, I too felt drained by my day job and wished I could find a way to make money online. I wanted time freedom and the financial freedom to be a stay-at-home mom, but imposter syndrome kept creeping in and telling me, you could never make enough money doing that. And what if you do try and you fail? But then I discovered how to build an online coaching business from home. In this podcast, you'll find biblical principles for the Christian entrepreneur, online marketing tips to help you start and build an online coaching business from home, and a whole lot of mom life, because we're doing it all with a baby on our hip. So grab your Bible, snuggle your baby, and let's build your business, because you were made for this. Okay, friends, so yesterday was Mother's Day. And it was a really fun day. I spent it with my family. I called my beautiful mother-in-law, who raised literally her, and my father-in-law raised the most amazing man that I get to be married to. And we spent the day with my mom. She lives very close to us. And I have to tell you a little bit about my mom. My mom has a huge influence on my life, my business, and my podcast. So my mother was a stay-at-home mom of 4, and you need to know that the 4 of us, my siblings and I, we were a wild bunch. We were high energy, high passion, always energetic, always on the go. And so having a stay-at-home mom was really, I feel, quite important and pivotal in the development of how each of us really channeled that high energy and high passion for life, and really can channel it in a good and productive way. So I'm the oldest of 4. Hello, I'm Camie. I have 3 younger siblings. So there's my brother Austin, and Austin is 15 months younger than I am. So think about that just for a moment. I was only 6 months old when my mom and dad found out that they were expecting their second baby. Like, that's not very old. Like, now that I'm about to be a mom, And and I'm kind of like envisioning, like, what is that going to be like? And what would it be like to have like a 6-month-old toddler running around? Then, oh my gosh, I find out that there's another baby on the way. Like, that would just be so fun and also kind of like mind-blowing to me. So yes, I was only 6 months old when my parents found out that they were pregnant with their second. And then there is the third sibling in the lineup, Miles. And Miles is 4 years younger than Austin. So my parents had their first two and then waited a couple years. Then came along Miles. And then there was Carmel. And Carmel is 12 months younger than Miles. So that means that my mom was only 3 months postpartum. Literally 90 days after giving birth to Miles, she found out she was pregnant with her fourth and final baby. Like, we were a wild bunch, and our ages were very, very, very close together. And so there was just like, I always describe my childhood as like beautiful chaos. And I mean chaos in the best way, in the sense of there was always noise, there was always something happening, there was always somebody to play with and hang out with. And it really, like, we needed a stay-at-home mom. We needed somebody that was there with us to help create consistency, because me and my siblings, we were constantly just like bouncing off all the walls. So while my dad was at work, he was at work, he was building 2 companies from the ground up. Entrepreneurship runs in our family for sure. My mom was at home creating this really fun, happy, engaging, and really intentional environment for my siblings and I. And it's not lost on me how blessed my siblings and I are to have had that experience growing up. I'm very, very thankful for that. Every morning we woke up, mom was there, and she would make breakfast for us, and we would have these little like toaster strudels, like, the toaster strudels, and they came with those like little frosting packets, and she would draw a little design on each one of our toaster strudels, and everybody would like have a different design. Like, my design was different than Austin's and Miles and Carmel's. Like, she was so intentional in the details in that way. So she was there every morning when we woke up. She was there every night. She tucked us in. She went on field trips with me and my classmates, which was always so fun. Like, I was always so excited to like show my mom off to like my other classmates. Like, yeah, this is my mom. And my mom is also very beautiful as well. She was a hot mom. She still is. She's a hot mom. She would go on field trips with us. She would play games with us. We would have dress up. We had this huge bin of dress up clothes. We would my brother Austin and I would dress up in my princess gown, and he would dress up in his Spider-Man outfit, and we had this like long corridor of this hallway, and we would walk down the aisle. My mom would pronounce us brother and sister. We would like make these commitments of like, I promise to be the best sister to you, and like, I promise to be the best brother to you. And it was just this like childhood full of imagination. It was fun. And the summers, those were so fun because I knew I got to be with my mom every single day, all day, and I didn't have to go to school and be away from her. I could be in my mother's presence. My mom had a huge influence on me and my siblings growing up. And the more that I reflect back on my childhood of having a mother that stayed home with us, the more and more I want to give that same experience to my children. And that was one of the number one reasons why I started an online business in the first place, was to be a stay-at-home mom. And now that I'm about to walk into that season of motherhood, Lucas and I are going to be expecting our first child through adoption, hopefully this year in 2022. But if you know anything about adoption, like, you set your plans and God laughs. Like, you cannot have plans when you're walking into adoption. And so we're prayerful that it'll happen here in 2022. But as I get closer and closer to that season of motherhood, helping moms come home to their babies becomes something that is increasingly near and dear to my heart. And I believe as Christian women, we are anointed for all the roles that the Lord calls us into. Wives, mothers, business owners, and above all else, daughters of the King. I think back to the Proverbs 31 woman often, and we're going to be talking about her a lot in the upcoming episodes. But I really believe that it's important for Christian women to realize that in what may feel like chaos, in what may feel like, oh my gosh, I have all these rules to fill in my life and I just feel like I can't do it all, I believe that it's important for Christian women to realize that they are anointed. You are anointed in your marriage. You're anointed to serve your husband as his wife. You are anointed to raise those children that the Lord called you to raise and to be the mother of. You're called to that business that he laid on your heart. And through Christ and Christ alone, you can steward all of the roles and steward them well. So there's 3 things that I really want to cover inside of today's episode for you. Number 1, I want to tell you everything that you can expect from the Bibles, Babies, and Business podcast. We have so much to dive into there. Number 2, I have a really fun and free value-packed goodie ready for you that you can dive into right away. And number 3, we have a Mother's Day giveaway, and you can enter to win a free 30-minute coaching call with me. So without further ado, let's dive in. So number 1, I want to tell you everything that you can expect from the Bibles, Babies, and Business podcast. And to do that, we really need to kind of like break up the title of the podcast. You know, it's Bibles, it's Babies, and it's Business. So the first thing, Bibles. You need to know that inside of these feature episodes, we're going to be talking a lot about biblical truth. What does it mean to be a Christian and a follower of Christ, especially in these modern day times when it seems like every time we turn on the news, there's something that is just blatantly going against how the Bible tells us to live? What does it mean to really follow Christ, to be the salt and light of the earth? What does it mean to follow Christ in what does the Bible say about motherhood? What does the Bible say about entrepreneurship? We're going to have so many amazing conversations on all of these topics and really bringing it back every time to biblical truth. These episodes are going to be countercultural. Please do not listen to these episodes if you are easily offended, because I promise you that the Bible is the most offensive thing in the world to somebody who is not a believer. These episodes will be countercultural. They will be triggering, and that's okay because we can be lovingly challenged to grow, to cut off the things that are not of the Lord, and to unite with Christ. We are women who are hungry for truth and for wisdom, and there is only one source of truth and wisdom, and that is our God, our Savior, Jesus Christ. And he gave us this beautiful instruction manual called the Bible, and so we are going to refer back to that instruction manual over and over and over. So, Bibles, Babies, Business, that was the Bible's part. Now let's talk about the babies part here. Let's talk about the baby ingredient here. We're going to be talking about all things motherhood, raising littles that love the Lord. We're going to be talking about time management. How do we raise children and be really present in our motherhood and also serve our husbands and also, you know, do the laundry and keep the dishes clean. And oh, by the way, we're also building this business on the side. Time management's going to be a really key player here in these episodes. We're going to be talking about stewarding our home, our marriage, and our children well. And I'm also going to be sharing bits and pieces of our adoption journey as well, which I'm so excited about, you guys. We could literally get a call any day. We could literally get a call any day, and our adoption coordinator could be like, okay, you guys, you have to get on a plane and like fly across the country and like be at this place at this time. And it's so exciting and also nerve-wracking, and there's joy, that there's sadness, there's ups, there's downs, there's all these things that we're feeling on this journey to growing our family through adoption, and I'm excited to share little bits and pieces of that with you. So that was the babies aspect. We covered Bibles, we covered babies. Now we're going to talk about the business aspect. So this is kind of like the final leg, if you will, of the podcast. The 3 different parts, obviously Bibles, babies, and business. So when we're talking about business, we're going to be getting down to the nitty-gritty of making money online using coaching. So we're going to be talking about what does it mean to become an online coach? How do we become an online coach? How do I even decide on like what I would coach on? Is coaching even for me? Is God calling me to be a coach? We're going to be talking about all of that. We're going to be talking about marketing, lead generation, selling, signing that first paying client, money mindset, getting organized, setting up systems and routines so that you really can steward all the roles that God is calling you to and steward them well. We're going to be helping you set up and prioritize your task list, because I know it as creatives and entrepreneurs, sometimes we can just have so many ideas and we can't execute on all of those ideas at once. So we have to be able to filter through, kind of put on a God lens, God filter for all of the ideas that we have, and really know which ones do I carry out right now and which ones do I put on the back burner for right now. And also, I really want to help you to create a schedule so that you know every single day exactly what it is that you need to do when you show up in your business to move your business forward, so that you can show up, do the things, shut your laptop, and go be present with your babies. We don't want to just start any business. We want to start a business that honors the Lord, a business that gives us time and financial freedom, and lastly, a business that is long-term and sustainable, because we are not here for burnout. So those are the things that you can expect from the podcast, Bibles, Babies, and Business. That was number 1. Number 2, I have a really fun and free goodie for you. I have a private Facebook group for you to come hang out with me and other Christian moms who are creating, starting, and building an online coaching business so that we can come home to our babies. The title of the Facebook group is, this one's probably not going to shock you, Christian Moms Start an Online Coaching Business and Work from Home. The link to join this private Facebook group is down in the show notes. So right after you get done listening to this episode, scroll down into the show notes, click that link, and come hang out with us inside of this Facebook group. Again, this is a place for you to come and hang out, because I know that this journey of entrepreneurship, especially online entrepreneurship, where we're not necessarily sitting in a cubicle, we're not amongst coworkers all day, it can be really lonely. And so I want you to come and build community and relationship with other women who are doing the thing right alongside you. So come network with other Christian moms who are starting their businesses, build relationship, let's support each other, let's hang out with each other. We're also going to be doing some live Facebook live coaching, and some Q&A sessions, and really encouraging each other and sharing the word of God. So please come hang out. This is the place that you want to be. I know that you probably have, like, I don't know about you, but this week I looked at how many Facebook groups I'm actually a part of. Turns out I'm part of like 82 different Facebook groups. I need to go in there and like remove myself from so many of those Facebook groups, because I really only want to be in certain Facebook groups that are really relevant to my life, that add value, and that I can really plug into and pour into that community and have that community pour into me. And my friend, I want to tell you that this is one of those Facebook groups that you are going to want to be a part of. You're going to want to show up and really pour into other women's lives and have them pour into you, and show up alongside each other and learn and grow your businesses together. So that was number 2. Come join our free Facebook community. Again, that link is down in the show notes. And lastly, the third thing that we're covering in today's episode, my Mother's Day giveaway for you. You can enter to win a free 30-minute coaching call with me. It's going to be amazing. And you can use this 30-minute coaching call for a variety of reasons or seasons, wherever you're at in your business. Maybe you already have a coaching business, it's up, it's running, but now you really want to optimize it so that it is running without you necessarily having to be in it. Or maybe you don't have a coaching business yet, but you want to start one. You're feeling that call over your life. The Lord is like just calling you to start a coaching business, and you want to get on a call with me and brainstorm some ideas and really get clear on your messaging. You can use this call again for a variety of reasons. I want to just list off a couple of things that you could use this 30-minute call for. We could brainstorm ideas for your coaching business. We could get clear on your niche and your messaging, really narrow that down so that you're speaking directly to the person that God's calling you to serve. We can fine-tune your coaching packages. We can work on your content, lead generation, or selling. So many things that we can accomplish in just a 30-minute window, my friend. You do not want to miss out on this giveaway. Here is how you enter to win. there's 3 things that you need to do. Number 1, leave a review for the Bibles, Babies, and Business podcast on Apple iTunes, which is good news because you're probably already listening to me on Apple iTunes. But if you're on Spotify or a different platform, just head over to Apple iTunes, go to the show, Bibles, Babies, and Business, scroll down and leave a review. I would love to hear from you. So that's number 1, leave a review for the show on Apple iTunes. Number 2, come join our Facebook community. You can find that link down in the show notes. Come hang out with us. And number 3, once you're inside of the Facebook community, I would love for you to introduce yourself. There's a checklist. Once you're added into the community, you'll find a video of me up there. And there's a checklist that includes everything that you need to do to introduce yourself. And the purpose of that is just to have us all get to know each other. Facebook groups are the most valuable when everybody's engaging, when people are pouring in and showing up and getting to know each other and pouring into each other. And so that is the purpose. We want to get to know you. I want to know how I can serve you best. And I want to know the things that you have your goals of. I want to know your struggles so that maybe I can go and create some podcast episodes about it that could be helpful for you wherever you're at in the season of your business. I'll be announcing the winner of the Mother's Day giveaway and the 30-minute coaching call with me on Monday, May 16th. So you have just about a week to enter the giveaway. Again, the 3 steps for you to do that are to leave a review for the show on Apple iTunes, go join our Facebook group. You can find the link down in the show notes. And once you're in the Facebook group, introduce yourself. My friend, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I'm so excited for this season. I'm excited for the season of life, this season of about to become a mom. I'm excited for this season in my marriage. I just feel like I appreciate my husband more and more every day as we walk closer to becoming parents. And I'm really excited for this season in my business. I've been in business since January of 2019. I have loved this business, and I'm just so honored that the Lord allows us a way as women to make money online so that we can be present in the home as wives, as homemakers, and as mothers. So thank you for joining me for this episode. We have so many more that are going to be coming down the pipeline for us. So many fun things to talk about. I love you, and I'll see you next time on the Bibles, Babies, and Business podcast. Hi, friend. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Bibles, Babies, and Business podcast. If you learned something from today's episode, or if it blessed you in any way, I would love to know. You can head over to Apple Podcasts and leave me a review, and I may just read your review on the show. Thank you again for being here, and I pray that God would fill you with peace in your faith, your motherhood, and your business, because you were made for this.